that could work out potentially quite well. And this Timbersaw pickup also gives them another vehicle for Lightstealer to go into. So they have a lot of ways of really jumping into the fight, starting them, and it doesn't feel like LOTAC has a great response for that.
They'll go for the Shadow Fiend, so they switch it up as well. One will be on the Shadow Fiend, so a lot of mind game going on in the drafting phase. Overall, John, how do you feel like this goes? The draft does seem to be even on both ends.
Yeah, it does feel even, and I have to tell you, Mike, I'm really not sure which way this game goes.
They're running POS 3 Ohio Sven as well.
I mean, we've seen that before, right? We've seen this in China, where they run that position treatment and worked out quite well for LGD. I mean, you get that farm timing up, you get that fast blink, you're really disruptive, you're in the middle of the fights, you're jumping in, you've got fast, usually it's Vlad's, I think that's the main pickup for offlane Svens. They tend to go for that buffing item still, and there's a lot of potential there, so I don't really feel too bad about that. It's going to be interesting to see if Ohio can pull it off the same way that the China region does, of course. It's a very different playstyle, to be sure, in a very different region, so we'll see how effective that goes. I'm still quite intrigued with LOTAC's last pick, Shadow Fiend. It's really a hero that, you know, it's the poster child for the mid lane that hasn't really shown up in that lane in a while, Mike. I mean, it's definitely not the most meta pick out there, but I feel like against this lineup, against something like Timbersaw, you're going to need those raises, so it does make a bit of sense here. Overall, though, I have to say, by the draft, hard to say. As you said, it's a bit even. I feel like if Boom ID can keep the pressure up, which should be quite easy with an Earth Spirit Lich, it could be hard for LOTAC to bounce back. Of course, require farm. So if Boom ID get their momentum going, it's going to be hard for LOTAC to bounce back. At the same time, if LOTAC holds up, I feel like they scale quite nicely.
No, going to be a hell of a series to watch and a very fun one that I'm sure. Of course, winner of this series does go straight to the minor. Big deal for either team. There are the drums, John. Signal the start of this game. So we'll keep a close eye out for the festive piglets that we've been seeing, but none coming out at the start of this game.
Doesn't look like anyone has any left, I'll be honest with you, Mike. There are some on Cam, but I don't see him pumping them out just yet, which is a great disappointment to me, Mike.
Yeah, Joe does plan to hold on to those for later on. Like both teams, just gonna be more than happy to do the usual, go for the safe 2 bounties each and just back off to their laning stage. Although, what's quite interesting to see how they run these lanes. Do they still run the Timber mid? Probably not. It looks like they're going to run FBZ in the off lane as that Timbersaw instead. They are going to put Mikoto on that Pugna up against the Shadow Fiend. So, I mean, this is still looking pretty good for Boom ID in that sense. Like, they left that lane very open with the Pugna Timbersaw, because both of them could be just in the off lane. And it looks like ultimately, it probably is still a bit of a win for the side of Boom.
Yeah, I feel like you can still get some work done as Pugna here. You just have to watch out. Your HP pool is really not that good, so if you cop all 3 raises for a really aggressive movement from Shadow Fiend, you're gonna get blown up quite fast. So Mikoto will have to watch his spacing. But beyond that, you know, they should be able to trade farm. If not, Mikoto should be able to clear out waves a bit easier than the Shadow Fiend should. Doesn't take too much mana to do that.
Yeah. Top lane. Looks like Ohio already going to find himself in a bit of trouble. Oblivion will make the case.
Thanks and have
Quite a bit of damage. Actually, bot lane is where the first blood happens. Skem finds FBZ on the troll. Wasn't expecting that one to be the first blood, but what? You've got the Grimstroke with that Inswell available. It looks like they're going to try and find even more. Joe Cam will chase down Yamate on that position for Kunka. fact, position 5, excuse me, chasing him down. Okay, I'm actually copying a hell of a lot of damage. Yamate going to continue this chase. Has the turret now as well. Will not throw it out. Will hold on to it for the moment. Very, very early burst blood going to the side of LOTAC.
Yeah, nice clean kill. I feel like when you're laning against that Timbersaw, you really have to pull the hero out as early as possible, because by the time he hits level 4, level 3 even, it gets control. So killing him off at level 1, level 2, and it's a bit weak, especially since you go for that level 1 Timber Chain. It's really the right power play here from LOTAC, and just kind of slows down FBZ just a tad.
Higher, they get some creep skipping going. Like he will manage it. Kescute trying to pull the creeps back his way, and he actually does manage to get on off Ohio. A very nice play coming in from Kescute. Ohio does still manage to get 1 million creep, but certainly not exactly what he wanted. The bot lane, none of Boom ID aren't going to be too happy looking at that. FBZ again going down, and this tri-lane is being run by the side of LOTAC. Appears to be way too much for this sort of play right now. In fact, JoeCam is trying to make a run out now as well, but this Earth Spirit really can't do much up against this tri-lane.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure what JoeCam is doing in this bot lane. I don't think you have any kill potential with level 2 Timbersaw just yet. I feel like you'd have a lot more potency as long as you stick with the Lich, but look, that's not the priority right now for Boom ID.
No. He's still being chased down. Yamate running way faster thanks to those brown boots got early. JoeCam, no regen left. Probably gonna just have to back off to the bouncer. Still a couple minutes for the first shrine to be up. Round. Boom ID getting nothing out of this off lane. Mid lane, not going well for Chuan though, to be fair. Like, Boom ID are winning this one out. Dakota, as expected, is having a pretty good time on the pod. I say that. Chuan moves forward, gets disarmed with the Decrepify. Dakota gonna play around with it with the Nether Blast, now the rotation as well. But Chuan gonna stand his ground, will find the kill. Kescute comes in, tries to clean him up, and does do so. But Makoto getting a bit too overly confident.
That did feel a bit awkward coming out from Makoto. He looked pretty good, but he had no way to heal himself back, so those red clicks were just good. But yeah, again, going back to my previous quick, Pugna is not very tanky here to have, Mike.
Bot lane as well, John. I mean, FBZ so close to dying. JoeCam actually rolled in just to basically use his own life away and ends up losing it, of course. Meanwhile, mid lane though, Chuan is going to be in trouble. Kescute is there. Chuan holding his ground. Full charge is available now to the ground with the Raven. The blast is there. Chuan will find a kill, but will end up losing his own life. And now Raven should be the secondary, and he will be. Makoto will find a double for himself on the Pugna.
I guess that makes up for the previous trade. A very nice set of kills going away from Makoto, and that does let him chip away at this tower just a bit at that tier 1 mid. So good start for Makoto. Definitely won out that mid lane. It's going to be a bit hard for Chuo to really play catch up. He's going to have to go into the jungle, build up his stacks, get some farm going, get his first few items up before really forcing these fights later on.
Top lane as well. We haven't talked about it too much, but it does appear Fabian is having a pretty nice time on that life stealer. They have left Ohio to solo up against him, so Ohio should be able to catch up himself on that farm. Bot lane Yamate gonna find himself in trouble as well on the Conquer. Should end up falling here to FBZ, and he does. To get a nice little pick off at that bot lane in FBZ. He desperately needs that gold, so he's gonna be feeling pretty good about that one.
Definitely so. He's playing catch up a bit, still a level behind Scam, but you know, he's at a point where he can sustain this lane solo, even if he's ganked up a bit more. Should be able to do his tank to a lot more than a few minutes ago.
Nice bait play coming out from the side of Boom ID. They drag in Yante and Chuan to the lane. They both get cleaned up. They do get JoeCam as a trade, but JoeCam not going to mind at all on that Earth Spirit. Just dying for the sake of getting 2 more kills for his team. Now FB's bot lane. Skem, if he gets those lucky snares off, and he is managing to do so, he could take him down, but those reactive armor charges, when they start to kick in, really make it hard for a Troll Warlord to try and finish the job off. Does look like there'll be a big rotation coming up from Boom ID down to that bot lane. Kodo just leaving the mid lane altogether. Perhaps just deciding they want to go for a quick push. Chuan will be more than happy to take that farm though.
They were spotted out by a ward, so that ward over the Radiant bot Riverside does spot out that movement, which means it's a bit of wasted time here for Boom ID unless they're really just down there to chip away at that tower. No hero kills to be found, everyone's pulled out. Skem's gone to the jungle for a bit, and they give up mid to Chuan a bit so he can play catch up. Really not the ideal position, but you know, he still has some catching up to do. Chuan before he's a big threat, so I feel like yes, this tier 1 down bot is a priority for Boom ID. Should be easy enough to take it out.
Well, certainly so, with the puck not going to be very hard whatsoever. Extended blast, of course, already available for Makoto. They will get started. Mid lane, Jokam left to defend that mid tier 1 tower by himself. Not feeling too comfortable in back. Raven will spot him out now, and they do get the silence off with the Inkswell as well. Stroke of Fate, however, does miss, but it should still be a kill. Surely they do get the X and they will find the kill. This isn't really a tier 1 tower guarantee, but they'll get surely a bit of chip damage going. Although while that's happening, bot tier 2 is under attack. Ohio jumps in. They are going after FBZ, but he managed to chain away. Now they'll chase the Pugner as well. The silence is there. FBZ, he'll return back, try and help out. In fact, they may turn this one around, but Chuan comes in on that Shadow Fiend, and they will find FBZ, and that's a big pickup. Now Makoto as well. He's even bigger, but it looks like he will be able to run his way out, and he'll go for an immediate TP.
Yeah, nice response from LOTAC there, catching out that Timbersaw. Again, giving a nice kill to their Shadow Fiend. Really needs all he can get, but beyond that, you know, at least they saved their tier 2. Was in pretty serious threat, I feel, to really go down, especially since Makoto really wasn't needed to back up. But now that now that they pull out, that tier 1 mid is going to be under threat. There is a smoke out from Boom ID as well, so the rotation is going to be up top. Time to give Fervian some action, it looks like, Mike.
Yeah, certainly so. Skem definitely going to have to be very careful. Has had a decent time so far. The roll in will not connect, but Jokam will get the slow off. And Skem, with that gaze, they will be able to hold him in place, and he will end up going down. Even the tips coming out from Fervian early on. And it looks like they will get started with that top tier 1 tower now.
Yeah, and I don't really see a contest coming out from LOTAC here. Fervian also just pick up his Midas, so his farm and EXP will accelerate even more. And the guy's been on top of the network for a while. It's going to kind of escalate from here. I do like this Midas pickup though. There's really not too much farming I think you can get on Lifestealer. Like, Battle Fury doesn't work, so Midas does kind of work out.
Inkswell was there, but it will not connect on anybody. The Crepify and Makoto will clean him up with the Nether Blast Lifesteal. That Boom ID more than happy with their secondary tier 1. We'll back off and get back to farming. In LOTAC, they've got to be really wary of this, because this is the game plan from Boom ID. You know, try to take a tier 1 tower, engage with a team fight, probably a team fight, and then back on. Jokam of the bot lane will get caught out. Nice silence there to make sure he can't exit back. Jokam will be able to walk out of there slowly but surely. FBZ was there just in case, to make sure he could help him out.
Yeah, I feel like so far the game does look tied up, 8-8, but it's a 4K net lead to Boom ID. That comes down to the towers taking kills. I guess the kills, the bigger targets they're taking as well. So it's been a fairly good start for Boom. I feel like you might have LOTAC try to slow down, at the very least try to buy space for the SF and the Troll to really farm up. You're going to need Skem to find farm again. That's the win condition for LOTAC every time they pick these heroes. They ride on Skem finding farm, which means they have to secure the map. So far, it doesn't feel like they have a grip on the map, just Mike.
Boom ID again in an aggressive position. Yamate is waiting around on that Kunkka. Not quite level 6 yet, however. Definitely would help out quite a bit if he was. Looks like they will go after Hino at that bot lane with that frost shield. He does God Strength up, but is he really going to be able to man fight here? It looks like God Strengthing was just enough for them to attack off, and now that will engage Yamate. X-Torrent is there, stun as well, but it's FBZ on that Timber. He's a really hard tool to go for with just right clicks. Still got about half HP going. Frost Shield is blocking. Thank you all though. Double Ink Swap is there, and now the ulti comes out. Chuan, he does end up dropping it now. Cam in there with the Chain Frost. Where's the bounces? It's very unlucky, but they will finally end up getting Yamate on the last bounce. Ohio will be able to back off. Makoto still making a chase onto Raven, and it looks like he will just be able to find him. Decrepify, Nether Blast, Live Train is available, but he won't go for it, but rather he needs another Nether Blast. Ink Swell, however, he's going to try and turn this one around. Jokam comes in, a double Ink Swell there, but they will end up finding the pick off. Makoto now on a wicked 6 streak.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really active on the map. He's been in pretty much nearly every team fight that's been breaking out, just going, finding kill, and pushing tower again. That's really game plan here for Boom. They're making it work quite well despite the losses they've taken on this Timbersaw. He's died 4 times, right? FBZ has died 4 times, and it doesn't seem like it's a factor at all.
No. It's like he's been free farming the whole time, honestly. Chuan being chased down, gets slowed up. He's been silenced as well, although he will walk the way out. Jokam could be in trouble, and the boat will come in. It does actually end up connecting onto a few heroes. It won't really matter too much because Boom seem unaffected by this, and they'll continue moving forward. FBZ, can he find anybody? It doesn't look like it, although they do ping out Ohio, and FBZ is on the chase. Ohio making a run for it, but how fast can this man run? FBZ, where's the chain? Does get there. Surely Ohio stuns him up. Keeping is in front of him, and he will not make it. FBZ. Oh my.
That was pretty cheeky from Ohio. Good attempt. Not quite enough. Not with that HP, Ohio.
Oh, FBZ. They will get started again on that bot lane. Start pushing in that tier 2 tower. Try to continue its map control. It's top lane. It will start being pushed in by Skem. He's again going for that Battle Fury, but it's not going to be the most amazing timing in the world. Seems like he's just going to, I guess, like farm a bit faster, but it's pretty hard to say that. Like, Boom ID is being so aggressive. It doesn't really feel like they're giving him much space to actually get that farm up safely.
Yeah, on the bright side for LOTAC, Skem has had a pretty free run up top. He's managed to play catch-up. He's working towards that Battle Fury again. LOTAC hasn't really deviated from this game plan. Every time they pick this troll, Skem just farms that Battle Fury, and they let Skem farm some more. And then at some point, like 25 to 30 minutes in, that's when LOTAC feels comfy enough to take these fights as, you know, as a full team. But before then, it's buying space for Skem and hoping that investment pays off. Right now, they have a good amount of control on the map, like at the very least with that tier 1 gone up top. Skem does have a safe area to farm in the top jungle, so he will be just sitting there basically. What that does mean though is that Chuan will have a harder time farming up on this SF. Pretty much everyone else is going to have a harder time farming up as they don't have any space for themselves, but they are really buying all they can for Skem.
Chuan seems to be having a decent time for that Shadow Beam, but I don't know how well can this hero go. They do engage top lane, and they will find Raven. Jokam falling low, should die. The turret does connect, but no, it's not quite a Jokam. The boat will also not connect. He will manage to walk his way out of there, and they do end up getting Raven's Grimstroke as well on the side of Boom. So they really are finding everything without actually giving anything away on the Boom ID.
Yeah, again, it's been very clean engagements for Boom ID for the most part. I think the one thing they really need to get a grip on to really tighten their lead in this game is some more wards down in LOTAC's jungle. Just really watch Skem's movements, because if you give Skem an opening, he will farm like mad. And right now, they've really just ignored this guy for, what, the past, I want to say the past 3-4 minutes now. And that time he's finished his Battle Fury, he's going to work towards his next item. And again, if you give him too much space, he will become an issue. That's just how LOTAC plays this.
Well, it looks like they are trying to engage those scams. We'll turn around and start man-fighting Jocam. Frost Shield does make it very hard, though. Well, both sides just opt to back off. Scam, he was just waiting for the Ancients to respawn. He just goes back to that and goes back to the left of the jungle. Just continue farming up. Yamate actually just standing up for his troll friend. Go for an X attempt, it seems, onto FBZ, but he's already out of there and perfectly fine. Still though, 9 to 13, 16.5%. 5k network now to Boom. The momentum has slowed down a bit. Boom ID, and it's like you keep telling me, if they allow them to farm, it's going to be a problem. Just a matter of how long will they allow it.
Yeah, I feel like we should be seeing... Oh, Raven.
Yeah,
Oh.
Raven, he'll be alright. Deep out of my time, and the roll was not on point. Look at the Dota Plus win probability, and currently we're sitting at about 73% the way of Boom ID.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they have a significant amount of the map under their control. They have superior farm under course so far. Again, the one thing I really want to do right now, well, it's killing Scam, which is basically what they need, is pushing some more towers. You want to be clearing these objectives while your opponent is really strong. And that's about it now.
Yeah, Yamate loses half his HP from just one combination of FBZ. So that tier 2 tower will be the target, though. They need to wait for that creep wave to come down. They go for a pick-off in that mid lane, but nobody is showing up, and Jocam has the infested nakes as well. They want to be very aggressive about this. Of course, the Radiants did also just come out on the nakes, so they've got a lot of bit of a power spike going on the side of Boom ID. Tier 2 tower, a lot of danger. Fervian leaves the Earth Spirit. That tier 2 mid tower not looking too healthy. In fact, it looks like LOTAC don't really have a way to get in there and try to defend this. They will just have to let go. Will they defend the top tier 2? I'm going to take a wild guess and say no.
Yeah, probably not. Again, they're not quite equipped to force these fights out. Even if they did, all you can really do those fights is buy Scam some space, farm up. I don't think it's worth throwing your bodies out. These outer towers anymore. You've just got to accept you're going to lose them. They're playing against a Pugna. These towers will get pushed.
Well, the tier 3 is a bit more important though, Joe. They can't really let this one go. It will go very, very fast though to a Pugna. And Boom ID, again, not afraid of anything. Because Fervian, he has the ratings. He's just more than happy to walk in there and take anyone on that wants to have a go at him. They are pushing the mid tower. Apparently, Ohio will get the job done himself. But I'm not sure if this is the side of LOTAC. The Fervian's still okay. They will frost it on him, and he will take the tier 3 tower. There is a nice X onto FBZ, but he does use himself up. And he avoids the X back. And with that, it looks like Boom are just going to go back and defend a bit, and they even draw a line out to push through the mid lane.
Yeah, again, just very clean gameplay coming out from Boom ID, just taking these objectives safely and just back off, not overextending. They already have, they know they have their power spike for a bit longer. They know they've slowed down the itemization of attack. They're under no real pressure for the next, I want to say at least the next 5 minutes, probably the next 15, if the farming pace is kept in check. So there is some room for Mighty to breathe here, but again, I just feel like when you're relying on a Pugna to push fast, you have to take these objectives fast. Sure, they've cleared out the map. I feel like once the rack's down, you're going to be a bit more comfy. But if you just leave it in this state of equilibrium as it is right now, after 15 minutes, that's when the Scam's going to be a bit scary that the beekeeper comes out.
He walked straight in with Fervian. LOTAC, I don't think they realized the Nakes was actually there. They took out Jocam, but Fervian, he just raged and walked the hell out of there. It was like he manages to pick up a BKB while all that was happening, so got a bit more defense on the side of LOTAC, but I still don't think this is really going to be enough to contest the side of their team fight potential.
It is pretty potent. You will be blocking out a lot of damage from Timber's fight. You're blocking out Lich's damage. You're blocking out Nico's damage. The only thing you'll really worry about is the lifestealer, I suppose, right now if you're Chuan. But, you know, just having Chuan live long enough to cast this Requiem is pretty darn strong.
LOTAC looks like they'll make a push at that top lane. They are completely surrounded, however, and YimbaTV wants to go for the TP, but does get Yule Star. He will be the sacrificial lamb for his game. At the very least, it isn't Ohio that gets killed off. Just go back down to that bot lane and starts farming up again on that Sven. Harder and harder for the side of LOTAC. They're desperately trying to get those 4 items up on their cores. The farm is just a bit slower than it is on the side of ID. Whether they can keep up is a question of its.
Yeah, definitely. So again, they've gotten a few things up and running under 2 cores outside of Ohio. They have the Battle Fury on the Troll. They have the BKB on Chuan. And pretty soon, even Yask is going to have his BKB up in a bit, maybe in the next 5 minutes. Chuan will have his Shadow Blade up by that time as well. And then you're going to see LOTAC really come online to take these fights. Before that, you do have some potential just BKB on Chuan, but again, it's just 1 here right now. He does need some follow-up from his other teammates.
When that time comes. Of course, Boom ID definitely don't take this too far. Like, we talked about it over and over again, but it is still a troll warlord you're up against in the late game. It's going to be a real pain in the ass. But, though, doesn't seem too concerned about that. Almost has a full manta up on that lifestealer now. In fact, make that a full manta that he does have up. The Roshan is being sneakily taken by the side of LOTAC, and it doesn't seem like Boom ID are actually aware of this. Though I say that they have smoked up and they will run past. They break the smoke before they haven't realized on the rubbish yet. Now they do, but the Requiem was already there by Chuan, and he blows 2 of them up. Now they run in. That lifesteal trying to take that Roshan. But Furby's losing too much HP and he's gone. Oh, the side of LOTAC. Actually, BZ, he got the Aegis. He managed to sneak it, but he gets Ants back and he will get taken out. Can they take him out a second time? LOTAC, FBZ all alone. He's going to try and fight this by himself. In fact, Mikoto comes back in. The X back on FBZ, dragging him back to the pit. They will take him out. And that's 4 down for the side of Boom ID. The only positive being they managed to snag the Aegis.
Yeah, I guess that's a nice enough trade for Boom ID, just denying that Aegis off. But man, was that a pretty messy team fight. They walked past the pit. Their smoke all broke. And they kept walking up the ramp. They didn't think the pit. It's a bit of a shame. Frankly, I'm a bit surprised a team like Boom ID would get bamboozled like that. It's definitely not something you expected, what you expect your level to be at, but I guess mistakes do happen. Probably didn't expect a sneaky rush coming in. And that is a fairly big win for LOTAC, just getting those kills onto his chorus. And that definitely bounces them back up. I feel like if you're Boom ID now, you feel a bit frustrated. You're going to want to take again those objectives fast, while your Mikoto Pugna is still pretty strong. I mean, he's going all in magic. He's going to come out as well. Instead of going for utility like would say.
Dakota, get X back. You're up. FB is pushing in that mid lane while the rest of his team does push the top lane in. And it does look like they may have a bit of an engagement here on FBZ. So nice chain away to make sure that they do not re-engage. FBZ actually going back in, but there's 5 heroes around it right now. It will be sold by Dota. Ohio doesn't really want to go for this team fight, but they are forcing to stick around. One now thinking about sticking around. They will go after FBZ, but falling very low. There is the Requiem, and FBZ is down, though Fervian is a massive problem on that lifestealer, but now he's for it as well. They are going to continue rolling in. Jokan goes after Skem. He keeps the magnetizer going as well. So they have grouped up. The Panfrost is there, but it will only go on one. Meanwhile, Skem getting started with that BKB. Dakota will end up getting Raven in the back runs, although they will lose Jokan as well on the side of Boom ID. The Gaze is there to hold down Skem. He has the battle plans and will get started on Kenscute. So that Frost Shield making it really hard to actually hit anything. And Scam looks like he will end up going down to Makoto, who's currently 10-1 with 6 assists, by the way. Who is that? Fervian is still chasing down Chuan, and Chuan should be dead, and he will be. A nice engagement there for Boom. In fact, they'll go straight for the tier 3 towers afterwards.
Yeah, they definitely have to, I feel. You're certainly approaching the point where once that BKB... Yeah, I mean, the BKB has come out for LOTAC, so you really want to take these fights ASAP before any more itemization comes out. Mikado still hurts. Might need to 10 seconds charge up with play right.
Oh, nice and test dodge. Fervian. Continue going. Rage was there. Ohio gonna be the time. He basically heals up all his HP now, Fervian, and he takes down Ohio as well. LOTAC, I mean, you thought they could have taken that team fight down bot, but they were pretty hesitant to do so with that. Boom ID will take a racks off them.
Yeah, it's a hard time for LOTAC. I mean, the BKBs are out, but just this farm, just being forced to use that BKB early, and then, you know, like, say, Scam getting decryptified for the most part while his ult was running, it's really costly. There's not much you can really do if that BKB's on cooldown, so you will have to, I think, if you're LOTAC, you have to watch that usage of the BKB. Make sure you use it when you're sure you're gonna get a kill. Otherwise, using it defensively, it's not gonna pay off.
The Dagon finished up on Makoto. That is a Dagon 5. No, in fact, it's a 4. One more recipe will get the job done. Hugner in a real headache for the side of LOTAC this game. I mean, he's farmed okay, but you look at Fervian's farm on that lifestealer, he's just gone above and beyond. 19.5 in comparison, 13.5 of control. Such a big difference. No wonder everyone's just running away from this lifestealer rather than trying to kite him around and take him out.
He is quite big right now, Mike. I'd argue that he's big enough to take on LOTAC all by himself, but probably not worth the risk proving that point. He is... I mean, he's got his AC up now. I think that... Yeah, there it is. All he really needs is what? Say a heart maybe coming out, maybe a basher or Bissell, and pretty much that.
They have picked up. They're going to have a look at somebody around the map. Fervian quickly find. They are getting rather close. Limited drops a ward but gets caught out immediately. Scam continuing to farm the Ancients. They will take him out. Meanwhile, FBZ actually ended up fighting Raven up in those top trophies. I don't quite know how he knew, but he did manage to get that support kill onto the stroke as well. And with that, it looks like they're going to start going again for those tier 3 towers in the mid lane. In fact, no, they switch it up to the top lane. Much easier option in tier 3s. But on those racks. Attack. Gotta at least wait for the supports to be back up. Nice little dodge there from Fervian on that Stormhammer. And with that, they're going straight for the Megas. How does LOTAC stop this? The Boom ID will probably play this safely and they will back off the safety again. Skem actually walks past them. Skem, what are you doing? He's baiting them in. BKB, Frost Shield was there. Skem has the Battle Krantz available. The Chain Frost will bounce around and does absolutely nothing. Soul is there as well. Cam jumps in after one. Reckham coming in after both. Does miss everything. Jocam still right through this, although now making the chase down. And it looks like LOTAC will try to find something shortly. Although FBZ in those front lines making sure they can't kill off anybody. And now they will chase Kesku. Although a nice kick back onto Yamate. He ends up dying. Scam is very, very low and he ends up going down as well. And it looks like Jocam going to make the final chase out onto the Grim Stroke. And he will end up going down ramp, but not find that. There will be buybacks coming up from the side of LOTAC, but they're losing those heroes very, very quickly. Third is full HP still.
Yeah, it's
yeah. It's rough. Mikomo, where the hell is Mikomo? He's at the Soundson apparently. He's still finding kills. They will get Joan Cam, but the GG has already been made. And look at those tips coming out the skin. Do my deeds. Absolutely have. I mean, they really want to rub that into skin. Psychological warfare, John. I do love it.
Oh, it's certainly something to watch, Mike. And I feel like, you know, this is Boom ID. This is what they do to Southeast Asian teams, Mike. If Boom ID is not facing off against the big names, they are. You know, a lot of people consider them on a different level.
5 seconds. Dyer's turn to ban. Radiant's turn to ban. It's Dyer's ban now. It's Radiant's ban now. Seconds. Dyer's turn to ban. Seconds. 5 seconds left. It's Radiant's ban now. Dyer pick. Radiant pick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 of this best of 3 grand final between Boom ID and LOTAC. It is, of course, MLP Dota, joined by the lovely John Expired. John,
10 seconds.
Game number 1. Let's talk about it for a second. It didn't seem great for LOTAC. Game number 2, what do they need to do differently this time around?
I mean, as I mentioned in the end of the last game, Mike, up against a team like Boom ID in Southeast Asia, you've got to shake it up a bit. LOTAC went for the draft that basically had everything it wanted to do outlined from the first opening. Just having that Troll Warlord pop out, Boom ID knew, just straight up, what LOTAC, they were going to give it to Scam, and Scam was just going to farm all game until he was big enough to take on these fights. Didn't happen. Not enough time for LOTAC to really get that farm going. So I feel like this time around they have to shake up the game plan a bit. They do so, at least in later draft. They open up with the Elder Titan and the Rubik. A very potent support combo that we saw multiple times before. And it's really making a resurgence now, I think. You know, Elder Titan has been popping back in. Rubik has been popular in the past patch anyway. So yeah, I feel like this combination is something we probably will see as much as we did before, Mike. And it's always fun to see these two heroes together. A lot of potency here. A lot of strong combinations coming out. You can turn a lot of spells against Boom ID with that Rubik pickup. The Shadow Shaman being with Boom already makes that Rubik quite valuable. So I like this opening from LOTAC. It is a bit different and it is quite potent. Boom ID does open up with the Sven and Shadow Shaman, which there is some flexibility if they want to run that Sven core. I'm not sure if it fits into their playstyle as much, but even as a support opening, it's really quite strong. You have the push potential from the Shadow Shaman and the single target control. You have that beautiful stun coming out from Sven and a good, a good buff from the Warcry. So you have a lot of options here for both sides, and it should be an interesting game number 2, Mike.
It really should be. I like both the openings from both sides. LOTAC, they do give the respect ban to the plug. They even get rid of the cooker. Of course, banning the troll out themselves. Boom ID, however, I'm sure they've got plenty of ideas up their sleeves. Final plan for them before we do get to see where they head out from here. Once again, Boom ID, 1 game away from qualifying directly to the minor. LOTAC, a lot of pressure on this game number 2 to try and force it back their way and make it a game number 3. In which case, they'll be one game away from trying to get minor themselves. But let's see how game number 2 goes first. My D, plenty of reserve time for this final ban out. Wonder, what do you give to a carry like Skem to really allow what happened last game to happen?
I think you're going to want something a bit active earlier on. I'm not sure if it really plays into Skem's style, though, but there are several heroes that you could throw his way. I suppose like, PA's banned out from Boom. That would have been a nice pickup for LOTAC. I feel you can get going quite early on with minimal itemization. The Juggernaut's another choice, and yeah, it's really good. It's active early on. Sure, a lot of people opt for that Battle Fury build, but you can go for something much more early aggressive. The Yasha, the Defeatable Blade, the Manta style. You can do a lot of work early on. You want these heroes that just jump out and get something going. Maybe something like a Lifestealer as well could work out. We saw it in the last game. Of course, it had a pretty free lane in that last game, but it doesn't take too much farm to get going against the Lifestealer, and you can do a lot of work. You basically negate all the control coming out of the Shadow Shaman and Sven so far. You can get away with quite a fair bit with that pick here. These are some of the cores that are really just online in a snap. I think those are the ones that really pop in mind. Maybe something like a Slark if they opt for it. I'm not sure if that's going to be top priority pick. CK would have been really nice as well, especially with his meta change. CK's been popping out once again, and as a core, he's kind of like a Fairblade that comes online a bit faster without the dependency of without depending on that Metamorphosis sort of cooldown. Sure, you'd want your Phantasmal illusions to be up fast, but you know, it's not really necessary in the early game to rely on it completely. Boom ID does go for that Lifestealer. So, a nice pickup for them. They had a great time with it in the last game. And if LOTAC's not careful, they could have that repeat in this game.
LOTAC, understanding that Fervian's probably going to have another good game. They do pick up for themselves as the third pick. I mean, Fervian just seemed uncontested. They try to shut him down, but every time he just rages and walks away. How do you actually deal with this Lifestealer? That's one way. I believe that might just be an Ohio Razor as well that we're seeing here, John. That could be one way to deal with the Lifestealer, especially during that laning phase at the very least.
It is very potent. We've seen this kind of matchup before, and it does definitely screw over the Lifestealer hard. Like, he's gonna have a rough time getting any damage done. Probably need a way to break that chain as fast as possible. I'm not sure how you kind of invest in that. Maybe fast Force Staff and Shadow Shaman is one way. I was gonna say a Force Staff and Lifestealer just to break the chain, but I'm not sure if that's worthwhile, Mike. It's really good against the Sven as well, in case that Sven becomes an issue with his right click. Of course, Static Link makes that a non-issue. So I do like this pickup from LOTAC. Definitely shakes things up. And I do agree with you, this is probably going to be Ohio's hero.
But there's the Darkseer. I mean, if there's one way to break the Static Link, John, could just surge the Lifestealer, let him run away. Of course, that's not going to really work out in the laning stage, but nevertheless, could always just swap out put the Darkseer up against the Razor, and not really much Razor can about that. Overall, LOTAC have a fourth pick for them. Feel just more on their side of things. Of course, I'm gonna say I don't really feel like there's many great spells for Rubik's to steal at the moment. Like, yeah, you've got a Stun, you've got the Shackles and Hex, and you've got like the Vac Wall, but they're not amazing for
Mike, we've seen this before, right? The Elder Titan and the Rubik playing up against Darkseer. You steal that vacuum combination with Elder Titan in any tight spot. Boom ID could be in a spot of trouble. We've seen it work out quite well. It takes a lot to really pull it off perfectly, but you know, and you have to be at the right spots, of course. Points, ramps, stairways. That's where it's really the most effective. But get that positioning right, get that combination off. It's very, very potent, and it's really not too hard to steal the vac. It's not even too hard to steal the wall. So, you know, I'm looking forward to see how far LOTAC can take that Rubik, and they shake things up a bit more again. Morphling pickup for LOTAC. Really interesting pick. Not sure if you're really going to be happy switching into any of these heroes. I think the Morphling by itself is going to do a little damage here. But I guess you can switch into Sven, give Warcry to all your allies. That's pretty nice to have. You know, you could switch into Darkseer, give yourself Iron Shot, I guess, or you know, Surge, stuff like that.
Not to mention
it's nothing like, yeah, the rate is pretty. I guess that's what you're gonna have to aim for every time. Take a Life Stealer, rate yourself free BKB. By level 6, it's basically a free BKB. So it's a nice pickup from LOTAC. Definitely not the pick I expected, but should be interesting to see. I believe this is gonna be Scam's hero, and we'll see how he plays out this time around. If he's still gonna go for that farm focus, or if he's gonna be applying a little bit more pressure early on.
Well, let's see how they close this out. They need a mid core. In fact, both teams do. Do they end up giving Chuan this time around? Last game, of course, we saw the Shadow Fiend come out, and it's not really like Chuan did a bad job. It's ImbaTV just seems to get online faster. For Rubik? Isn't it?
Yeah, Mike, maybe it's gonna be a Core Elder Titan in the off lane. I think I've seen Ohio play that once. I think we have seen him play that once, maybe while he was on SGD.
Is that really gonna pay off though? Like, there's no really necessity for a Core Elder. Oh my.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Yeah, no. It's gonna be interesting. Like it's for sure gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a mid Clinks. Mikado on that Clinks. It does look like it will be Ohio and Razor. So, what is there for? Is it gonna be? It's a Core Rubik.
We'll find out. Just wait to see what Chuan picks up. I love Core Rubik. You know me. I love seeing Rubik in the mid. Just put him on the mid Rubik. Do it. Yamate's on the
I think so. I think
yeah,
so.
it is. It's a mid Rubik.
Yeah, no way it's gonna be a safe lane Rubik. It's probably gonna be mid Rubik. I'm not sure about this. Like, I have to tell you, I'm really not sure. I would have been fine if LOTAC had last pick to quit at Oracle, run the Rubik mid, would have caught BoomID by surprise. It's a Rubik facing off against a Clinks. Now, Rubik's not a very tanky hero. Clinks pumps out a lot of physical damage early on. I'm sure you can kind of burn him down with Fade Ball, but it's much easier for Clink to keep up his harass with searing arrows. So I do worry a bit for LOTAC here in that mid matchup specifically. Based on draft, it could go either way. Again, LOTAC does seem to want to take their time again with the heroes they have, especially, you know, Scam's Morphling. Of course, you want some farm on that Morphling before you're active, so it does look like they're gonna have to slow down the game for Scam. BoomID does look like they have to keep up that aggression they had in the first game, and I'm interested to see if, you know, just changing out this hero for Scam, changing out their lineup a bit, will shake things up for LOTAC. Will they be able to buy enough space for Scam to farm up? Well, we'll find out, Mike.
We see Clinks come out of the pro scene that often anymore. It's not just me. We don't see this hero anymore. This hero is garbage, right?
It's definitely not had a shiny moment, especially with the changes to his ultimate. Really kind of made him funky. I'd say it's strange. I don't believe we've seen him, Mike, but I feel like, you know, it's popped out a couple of times. Just, you know, mess around with it, and I believe he actually had a couple of bugs on his ultimate as well before. I do recall an issue with the damage type coming out from the statues. I believe they were piercing at some point. I feel like those issues have been fixed. There were certain issues. Yeah, no, I feel like it was in the patch. I'm just not sure if it was fixed. I mean, I haven't seen a Reddit think about it in a while, so I'm assuming it's fixed.
Must be fixed.
One would hope, Mike. But yeah, it's definitely not here. It's popped out. I'm checking the data right now. It's popped out 5 times so far in past months, and it has won 3 out of 5 times, Mike. So hey, it's worked in those 3 times out of 5. maybe this is gonna work out for Boom. Push that up to 4 wins and 2 losses over 6 games.
Those are great odds. Great odds for Boom ID. That clinks me. Makoto probably gonna have a decent time. Like against the mid Rubik, you already said it, but Rubik's not a very tanky hero, and Clinks loves versing these kind of heroes, but they just can't really bend themselves against the searing arrows.
I do like this pick as well because, you know, it kind of makes Ohio think hard. Who's he gonna go for with that static link? Is he gonna link up the Lifestealer? Is he gonna link up Mikado's Clinks? Because both of these guys pump out a lot of physical damage, of course. So he's gonna have to choose one or another in the middle of these team fights. You can only link one until you buy a refresher orb, I guess. And then you could link both, but that's gonna be a while. It's definitely not something that's happening in the first 30 minutes. So target prioritization is gonna be a bit iffy there for LOTAC. And we'll find out as the game goes on, Mike.
Certainly so. One already getting to experience a bit of what's to come with those steering arrows. Of course, the Fadebolt can be very annoying as well towards the Clinks, but not really that spammable as an ability. Keep an eye on Makoto and Chuan, see where they end up. Top lane, we do have Yamate on the Oracle, of course. He will be there with Skim. He'll be up against FDZ and KSQ on that spin. Those combos as well. It's not a nice one to have to go up. You surge the spin in, he'll throw out the Storm Hammer, put on the Iron Shell, and suddenly you're copying so much damage on the side of LOTAC. Not going to be a fun lane.
Definitely not. And it's going to be really hard to contest for the most part. I mean, Morphling really just wants to farm for the most part. And he does do a lot of physical damage, a Skem, but, you know, once that Warcry is up on our Sven, it's not going to be as effective as you want.
That's copying a bit of damage right now. KSQ, Yamate being a bit frustrating towards him, but KSQ, okay. Of course, this does just allow FBZ to free farm on that Dark Seer and eventually start creep tipping with the Iron Shell level 2. Bot lane, of course, Ohio and Raven are there against Jokam and Fervian on that Lifestealer once again. See how much Ohio can do to shut down this Lifestealer. Mid lane, looked like Makoto actually found himself in a lot of trouble, but Chuan didn't have any mana left for another Fadebolt. It was on call anyway. Makoto will have a moment to sell up and get back to the full HP. Chuan, he really only has a Tango left, so he's gonna have to try and stay back a bit. Corey is gonna bring him out of Sal, however, so he'll be right as well. Those searing arrows, man, they make it so hard to stay in the lane. But bot lane, however, there will be a bit of an engagement. Ohio finds himself in trouble and will end up going down to Fervian. Jokam as well falling quite low, but he'll turn around with the shackles. And with that, Raven should end up with his own life, and Fervian ends up getting him 2-0 already for the side of Boom ID.
Yeah, a good start for Boom. They managed to get pretty much to kill one. Ohio is definitely one for us. Yeah, you know, Razor's tempo 4 wants to have a good start. You slow down that good start. Razor does really have that great catch-up tools, especially if you don't invest the points in Plasma Field. So slowing down Ohio at this point in the game will just kind of slow down his power spikes, which is really what you want when you're Boom ID. Slow down this early start that LOTAC wants to have on a certain course to buy time for Skem. They can't buy time for Skem. I mean, you saw it last game. It just doesn't work out.
Fervian, a lot of damage being sapped from him thanks to Ohio, and now trying to get himself out of the situation he's landed himself in. They are going to all take the case, though KSQ is there with the Storm Hammer to slow them down, and look like Fervian should be able to talk his way out of there. And he does manage to do so. However, this does allow LOTAC to waste a lot of Fervian's time in this laning stage. Well, so far, so good. Like, you look at Skem's last, top of the last hits board, look at Fervian, he's kind of close, he's not really there right now.
Yeah, he's definitely not having as good of a time in this lane as he was in the last games. But, you know, all things considered, it's not as bad. He forced the 2 supports to rotate down, stay in this lane to kind of test him. So that does open up the mid lane, that does open up the top lane for your hordes to farm better there, and I guess we'll see if that does pay off as the game goes on.
Well, they're going to maintain the tri lane. B03 will run one of their own as well. Get started on Ohio. We'll have a follow up on the tackles on Ohio with way too much HP. End up going down to Thurbian once again. Joe Camp making the chase, trying to find somebody else. Kescute really has no mana left though. They will just have to be able to go. So expect Thurbian to now start farming up as he did last game on that life stealer. So again, we move back to the mid lane, and where Chuan and Mikoto are still fairly even. Mikoto is starting to pull ahead slowly, but Chuan has managed to keep on this Rubik in the last hit.
Yeah, he definitely has, and I believe that the career prioritization he gets to have, he's just been carrying some reach every time, making sure he's up to the spam of 50 vault.
Oh man, Ohio, he managed to get Joe Cam, but ends up losing his own life. Certainly not worthwhile if you are the core Razor to get a support kill for the cost of your own. Thurbian, 1 HP, just more than happy to sit there and keep farming up. There's just really not much these supports of LOTAC can do about this. Raiden tries to do some harassment, but ends up copying a lot more. Just never a smart idea to try and trade if you're a melee support against the lifestealer. Yeah,
usually doesn't end up very well.
They take the chase onto Raven as well, and well, Ohio gonna try and help out. Thurbian's already found the kill. Now the Stormhammer as well to make sure Thurbian can get out there safely. Kescute get the hell back. But nevertheless, a 5-1 now, 6.5 minutes into this game. Certainly looking like the last game, I've got to tell you.
It does feel that way, although this time around I feel like Skem does have a bit of a better start. He is pretty much top of net worth, on top of the CS right now, just behind the Darkseer, but that is a Darkseer who's also pretty much given free reign in the lane. So that is kind of expected, but we'll see if, again, if that does pay off. It does take a while for Morphling to bounce into that mid game when his power spike's amazing. Takes at least one big item, maybe two, to really be effective.
One, making a rotation down to the bottom lane. Thurbian getting sapped right now by Ohio. They will actually go for the courier. Won't quite get there. So close though. 18 HP left on that chicken. This rotation as well coming out from LOTAC. I'm not actually sure if they're going to find anything out of this. Rest on Boom ID, just circling that mid tier 1 tower right now. Raven is there to try and defend, but he's surrounded. They are going to start chasing him down. Docamp not quite getting there in time. Chuan does return to the mid lane now and will start to chase on Docamp. And it looks like the Shadow Shaman has just been stuck in the tree line. Will end up going down, and a nice little pick up there from LOTAC.
Radiant's top tower is about to topple.
BZ now gets spotted out by Raven. That early Titan Storm will not connect. A nice dodge from FBZ. Should be able to just walk his way out of there safely. In fact, he will go for the TP play. Chuan is there. He does get the lift in time. That's a nice pickup coming out. Skem even gets the kill confirmed on the Morphling.
Yeah, that's definitely a better target than Shadow Shaman. They lose out on Ohio's Razor once again. Nice rotation coming out from Mikoto there. But, you know, at the very least, you got that Darkseer, you gave it to Skem. All in all, again, the investments are all going back to Skem. And at this time around, he is getting a bit of a better start. More again, just takes a while to come online. So even if he has this good start, it's gonna be a while till we see that good start bear fruit, really.
Raven, Kescute. So Kescute actually finds him, and now with no camp there as well, this should be a kill. Although the stop, it will not go through or kill it. They will find the kill, gets Cam. The wall was already dropped as well, so they need to be in front of that after. They will get started on the link with FBZ. Meanwhile, the Makoto gets started on Tron and takes immediately, and now Ohio will be the target on the Razor. FBZ continuing the chase and stop. Will do a pretty nice job stopping the back line. FBZ actually going too far, but apparently not. They will end up finding Ohio, and they will continue the chase with the Stormhammer on the Scam. Shackles will be there as well. Boom ID. Really just playing all around LOTAC that engagement, finding quite a few kills for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about how Scam has had a better start in the last game. I mean, you know, just one kill can kind of change that tone. And right now he's only maintaining 100 gold ahead of Fervian, which is really not the most amazing gold lead ever, especially considering that Fervian is going to have his minus up really soon. I think it's supposed to be over here, it's just not flying out to him yet.
Well, Kezcute ends up finding Raven as well. Raven was trying to go for the deny by going into the 2 tower, but at the very least, Kezcute does stay within XP range to be able to get that. With that load, start pushing the mid tier 1 tower now with Scam. So an immediate response will come out from Boom ID, and FBZ wants to get started on Scam, so he does. Trying to make it obvious he's there. He's more than happy for Scam to back off and get the farming. Speaking of farming, Vivian, although gave him a really tough time in that bot lane, he's still top of the net worth board and has just picked up that minus, so expect that to increase even more.
Yeah, his timing's still pretty much on point. A while ago, again, that gap between him and Scam was pretty tight, just 100 gold ahead for Scam. Now he's just pulled away. With that minus, pick up his farm's just going to accelerate. And he's going to be active in the map. He doesn't slow down even if he's needing to farm that Radiance up. He does pop in for these kills, whereas Scam's playstyle is a bit, you know, it's less proactive. It's a bit more focus on farm, focus on taking that lane CS where and when he can.
Down at FBZ, so can they burst him down? He's off the wall, and FBZ makes a run for it. Shell was stolen by Chuan, but that's not going to really do much in this engagement. That Boom ID more than happy to go back and farm up a bit more. LOTAC start pushing in that mid a bit, but won't really bother. Kezcute will be better to defend with the Sven. Kodo, top lane, will end up finding Yamate on that Oracle and will just burst him down. No way for that Oracle to survive that. He doesn't even have this promise yet. Kodo, more than happy to claim his life. Yeah, he's way up. Kodo, not really sure what kind of item build he'll go for on this Clinks, because we really don't see it that often, but I imagine an Orchid wouldn't be too bad up against that Orchid. Then the fighting Ohio backs him in, although nice rip comes out from Twan and Kodo still helping out. FBZ will be able to surge his way out of there. Now Fervian comes in. They're going to go after Ohio. He will go for the immediate TP play and should be fine. My goodness, those right clicks from Makoto, they really do hurt with the steering arrows.
Oh yeah, it's
They do find Jocam mid lane, however. But a nice LOTAC, they do get punished at least one of the supports of Boom ID in that mid lane. But now, their bot tier 1 is being pushed in. The question is, do they defend this or do they take the time and farm up?
Honestly, I feel like bot tier, well, not the most important tower to defend. You should really just farm up. I mean, Scam's basically just farming up anyway. It's LOTAC. I mean, they should show a bit. They should show some people in the map that at least take that lane CS, because there is still some to be had. But they definitely shouldn't throw bodies for this tier 1 bot. It's, again, really not the most important tower to maintain. And if you lose that, you're not losing too much on map control.
Do remain at 11 to 5, 14 minutes into the game. Scam does look to be going S and Y build on this Morphling. They put it down to that bot lane. They will find FBC, but again, He's very, very hard to try and go for on Darkseid. It looks like the only reason LOTAC's really here though is to go for that T1. And they will be able to claim a nice little win for them. None of Boom ID very interested whatsoever in trying to defend that.
Yeah, again, it's down to that tier 1 block. It's really not too important, and I guess for the reason it's a bit more.
Get started. Earth is there on Makoto, but he will be able to just run away, and now a nice double stun coming out from Dokam. Was again trying to chase the darks here, but target they can go for, and they do lose the tier 1 tower in the process. So in the end, Boom ID get what they came for. They lose nobody, they get nobody, but that's more than happy with that. Looks like Irvin is going to make a chase onto Yamate bot lane, but he has no way to cancel the TP off. With that, again, we just go back to that point where both teams just try to take tier 1s, farm up a bit. I'm kind of say as well that Skem isn't just farming right now, he is with his team. They do start though higher, but perhaps they feel confident to make the push right here, right now. Bomb. Shadow Shaman and that was really forward immediately, although a nice back comes down. They will be able to find Dokam regardless, and now they'll go for more. Skem morphs into the spin. Wants to get that Stormhammer off whenever he can, and it's just a stop, will lock it up. As well, so LOTAC do manage to get a T1 and 2 hero kills. Not a actual win for them.
Definitely so. Nice clean kills. Granted, it's on 2 supports, but you take that tier 1 mid, which again kind of evens out the control you have in that Roche area. So, you know, you losing the tier 1 mid is negated now.
LOTAC just wanted to back off for the moment. But Irvian continues to follow up himself, although he is very, very close to getting that full Radiance up now. That's enough for the Sacred Relic. But they want to go after the Ohio kill. Smoke up and rush in. Those trumps are there on Ohio. It doesn't look like it'll really matter. They even wards just in case. It looks like Ohio will end up dying with those wards. Go after the tier 1 bot tower as well. In fact, Makoto joins in. And that'll be a nice little tier 1 cleanup for the side of Boom ID. By the way, it does seem like Makoto has opted to actually go for the blade on that cleanse.
Yeah, that's reasonable enough. That does pump your damage out by a fair amount, and it gives you some fun.
With PC, they would into play. They do have the Search Stolen as well. A nice wall being placed. It won't do too much for his sake, but it looks like he will be able to find his way out eventually. Serbian may turn around, but he's being statically up. They will manage to get Raven on that Earth Spirit. Excuse me, the Elder Titan. Skem still trying to make a run for it. It's like Ohio fell very low for those Ancients. Want to have a go at him, but he will get to the Shrine, and he will be okay. The Boom ID and Elder Titan do manage to back off the safety. I mean, FBZ, that's very nice backs there as well. Just making sure they can never really engage safely on the side of Boom ID.
Yeah, definitely so. I feel like we haven't seen the ideal back wall come out yet from Boom ID, but that's just down to how they've been throwing out these walls. It's been much more defensive come out from Boom ID. Definitely nothing that's really situated for the offense. Just really dropping that wall to buy themselves an escape route, or, you know, just slow down the pursuit, which is perfectly fine. I think Boom ID can't afford to do that right now. I am a bit worried to how much space they've given Skem. Skem has been farming quite well for himself. Barely just matching a Lifestealer, about 500, 400 gold behind. And he has opted for a bit more of an active build. SNY is already up. BKB is going to be up in the next, I don't know, 5 to probably 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. It's really fast uncontested. But he will have that BKB up, and after that, it's going to be a slight issue for Boom ID, as they have no real way of holding Skem down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. 2 top tower again. Serpent wards are available. Rather, they're available, but perhaps he had an arcade for the time. We'll go after Darkseid, however. FGZ sticking around a bit too long, and Skem does manage to clean him up. does have the full Sergeant Yasha up as well on that Morphling, and we'll be going for a BKB up next. Yes, good. You're right. He does have Yamate running into him, but it's just a warding mission right now. Yamate actually gets spotted out, placing wards down, and will end up losing his line, as well as his wards, it looks like. In fact, no, he will be able to walk his way out, but the wards certainly aren't very safe. Ohio, though, gets stripped in, wants to try and go for something here, but Burbian comes in, and this doesn't look like a plan from the LOTAC. The Radiance is also up on Burby right now. They do manage to take the bounty rune. Not going to lose your whole team, but again, actually man fighting FBZ on that Morphling. Very nice pick up for him. LOTAC suddenly looking like the much stronger team.
Yeah, just a nice pick up again. That wall looks pretty nice coming out from our Dark Suit this time around, but just not having the impact. Again, I think this comes down to how staggered that fight was. BoomID just felt like they weren't quite in position to really punish LOTAC's aggression there. Instead, they pay for it with FBC's life, which is really not ideal. You kind of want your Dark Suit around, of course, in these prolonged fights. You a lot of control that you're relying on right now, and just having him disappear is much less ideal.
Now Brilliant going in by himself. Ohio just saps all the damage. Why are you even turning around, Brilliant? You're dealing no damage, you're probably healing him up right now. Although the back line, again, BoomID getting caught out. A nice stun coming up, but it's not going to be quite enough, and Kezcute goes down as well as Joe can. Brilliant.
What? How? It was working. It was working back to full edge. Forgot the radiance. We all make mistakes, Mike. Some of them a bit costlier than others, but we all make mistakes.
Oh my.
I mean,
fair enough. I guess the pressure, sets in. Like you said, sometimes you make a bit of a mistake. Shit happens, as we say in Australia, John.
That was just a bit surreal to watch. I just saw it sneak peek and I was like, no way. Maybe a bit of a misclick. Very unfortunate route.
And of course, the tips were coming out from Boom immediately after that happened.
Oh god. Okay. Still looking pretty good for LOTAC. I mean, it's less than okay for BoomID. And again, most of that is riding on Fervy. Most of that network is on Fervy. Everyone else is, honestly not doing too well. Mikado has kind of fallen behind. Just not getting the farm he needs, and honestly his impact has felt minimal since hitting the 15-minute mark. It's when it started to feel a bit less than intimidating for Squints.
Mikado gets caught out. Probably should end up falling, and he does. Mikado had a good start, but suddenly that Clink started to drop off. LOTAC definitely taking advantage of that. 14-12 now. 23 minutes game. I don't know. It just feels like anyone's game right now. Both sides understand that they need to get their farm up faster than the other one, but it does feel like LOTAC later on in this game do have an advantage over the BoomID side.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with you there. Of course, it's Morphling going into the late game. It sounds a bit more potent than a Lifestealer and a Clinks, who they're really mid-game oriented kind of carries. They spike up in, the 30-40-minute mark. Any longer than that, they kind of just tip off a bit. Whereas Morphling is always kind of scary, especially as you go towards that late game. It just gets kind of scary to deal with this kind of hero. So I feel like it is on BoomID to really pressure LOTAC right now. And honestly, I feel like they haven't quite done enough of that yet.
Yeah, starting to take over. Like, Bervian's still in front, but you kind of saw what happens if Ohio is there with the static link. It doesn't really seem to matter how much damage you've got or how much farm you've got. Start moving forward with the rest of his team. This going to be going for a Lincoln Sphere next, so he definitely wants to get the block off on that link. Otherwise, even the morph would be pretty good to block off. Serbian does put it out a bit, but rather just go for the tier 2 mid tower, of course. But Ohio will punch in. It was there, it was stolen by Rubik, and now they're trying to burn Serbian down. Ohio, though, has caught himself between rock and a hard place, and the back wall comes out as well. Nice ball splitter, but it doesn't really do too much damage. And Ohio, he'll start moving forward with that false, but trying to get somebody. FBZ is the target. He has no mana left to surge, but he just gets it, but the Hex again comes out from Twan. FBZ will end up going down to Ohio. They do end up losing their Oracle, but even no cares about that. They found a Quinx's Scam. Gonna feel the damage, and Makoto will end up going down to the Morphling, and now Verbian, however, he finds Ohio and he finds Slim on that Morphling. They kind of came back out of nowhere. I mean, they really like tipping Scam.
They certainly do, and oh man, look, I feel like I would be pretty much okay with that trade for LOTAC if they didn't lose Scam. The fact that Scam keeps dying in these exchanges it's less than ideal for LOTAC, and that does mean BMID, you know, they still get to keep their pretty good momentum going, especially since they haven't lost Fervian at all.
Going back to this mid Rubik, how much impact do you feel like Twan's had?
Honestly, I feel like it's been minimal. I haven't seen him steal big tells we were expecting. I haven't seen stolen Vac come out into a stomp yet. Something that, I mean, granted, you know, that's not easy to do, but I feel like that's really where a lot of potential lies, is on, you know, when you play Rubik on the bleeding edge, and you catch these combinations out that turn team fights for your team. And when you don't get them, it just feels underwhelming, even though, honestly, I feel like Chuan has done a pretty decent job. It's just not the... It's not the slant, you know, it's not the big plays you come to expect from a hero.
Side low to find a target to go for. FBC may get caught out, though. Amate that's in a bit of a poor position. Ohio will start the link up onto Fervian. Fervian will back off with the rage. Okay. Again, you just have this weird position now where neither team really feels that much stronger than the other one. So I say that Fervian is starting to take over a bit on that life stealer. They will get started on the Roshan now. Albert will come out onto Ohio, a great item against that life stealer and the team for that matter. Could be a better time for him to get it, but they know the Roshan's going on. Surely they do. They are running that way. Ohio, of course, the first one in. Will start to link up onto the Lion Stealer, and he does take all the damage of Fervian, in fact even more than that. A nice lick to the backline as well, but Skep, nice Earth Splitter as well. Can they deal the damage, however? Here's Cute, he will be the one to go down first, although they find Joe Cam as well. The Shackles is there onto Cam, the false promise as well. And well, there's a lot of buybacks coming up from Boom ID right now. Ohio will get put out. Tron also ends up getting taken down. Scam, he's just trying to make a run for it. The rest of Boom ID making the chase. Joe Cam, he gets the switch, he wants that Hex, and he does find it. Has the Shackle available as well. Can that deal the damage, however? He does not have mana for the players. In fact, no, he does now, but he's still going to end up going down by the looks of it. And with that, I mean, I can't say I wasn't expecting the tips to come out at that point, John. They seem to do it every single time. They did force out a lot of buybacks from Boom ID to get that job done, though.
Yeah, that's 2 buybacks. That is on Shadow Trauma Sven. On the bright side for Boom, those are your 2 supports buying back securities. So I think that's very much worthwhile. Sure, you lose McCall again, but you got the big targets in Ohio, you got the big target in Gem. You're definitely going to be able to take the towers too.
When they found Yamate getting involved, not the greatest news for the side of LOTAC. With that, gonna go for the first pass of the game, but Ohio doesn't see with the static kick, but he may just right away for that. doesn't have buyback available. It's not great. Sure, you delay third just a little bit. I don't think they're going to mind too much. And mid lane's being pushed in as well as those circle wards. So every lane right now is copping a lot of pressure from the side of Boom ID. Like, which one do you defend when you've only got 2 wards available? But now they've got a Morphling as well. But even then, it's like, I don't know, like how much can Skem do on this Morphling?
Feels like it's not going to be enough just yet, even with that BKB in it. And why? He's just, it's just not doing enough yet, and it's a bit of an issue for LOTAC. It needs a lot more to come online. At least the Scotty coming out just help him out with stats. Maybe after a Butterfly, he's a bit more comfy. Maybe after the E-Blade, if he does opt for that, he'll be a bit more comfy. Right now, sure he can survive these fights very, very long, but the damage out is just not as amazing as I'd expect.
Well, both shrines being lost from the side of LOTAC, as well as 2 Raxes, one in the mid, one in the bot. 1 Rax left. In fact, the Roshan is still up. I didn't even realize that, but it is still available to be taken. Of course, LOTAC can't be able to give that Aegis to the side of Boom ID. Applying that pressure around the Roche pit. Smoke coming up from Boom, and in fact, who have they down there? Spurdian, but and it is. Ohio jumps in, but the back foot was there. Now they stun him up as well. Bolt Promise will keep him alive long enough to steal even more damage, but he's copying a hell of a lot himself, and he shouldn't end up dropping off that Bolt Promise surely. In fact, no, the Infinite has get the job done. It's a lot of deaths coming up for LOTAC. This could be GG will play though. They've got no buybacks available apart from Skem. There's 1 Rax left. It looks like Chuan has been trying to creep Skem a bit, but they're pointing at the tier 4s now on the side of Boom ID. You can smell the miner just blown away from them. With the mega the pigs are coming out. Happy New Year indeed. Year 3 is going down. Can they stop this? Ohio, who can't afford to die right now, looks like he has no choice in this. He does end up buying down, and it's a dieback for him. Skem trying to do the best he can, but that is up and down fast life stealer, and he will find Chuan surely. The Yules will be there, but it won't be enough. He does get taken down. Tier 4s are still open for the take. There's currently facing each other. Skem try and man fight this. He's actually doing a lot of damage to Burby. He raises up, wants to hit someone, but not hit anybody right now. In fact, he finds Chuan, finds Skem as well, and he heals himself back up throughout all of them. Skem's trying to fight throughout all this madness. He actually gets the Agimorph. Don't know if that's going to help the call. He does end up going down. That's a GG call coming in as well. John, was that the second time that happened? Did I just, am I blind? Did I just see something?
No, I think that was beyond Bolt's promise. Yeah, I think whether or not he shifted his strength was but a really unfortunate showing for LOTAC. Definitely a bit better than game 1, I have to say. Felt like there was a bit more fight in LOTAC, a bit more bite coming out from their gameplay, but not quite enough to overthrow. Again, the favorites of this matchup, I mean, Boom ID is basically